This boogie down production really push the button, so prepare for the funk that be coming from Mr. Cummins. Style so deep, I be giving you artifacts with the type of auto rap that's used to resurrect the zap. Or bounce to the ounce on the route that I be taking in the club. I love to see the ladies booty shaking. Tell Cinderella that I found the glass slipper. Give her 4 shots of liquor, now she's my personal stripper. Get the picture? I be trying to get it cracking. When it comes to game, my setting is all matted. Dudes, when you dance with these chicks, give them the business. Follow my advice, bet she give you something delicious. Eye contact that is leading to the kissing is leading to different positions. Oh, did I mention? These new freaks like to bring a friend, adding to the energy. OMG, the sexual trinity. Now can I get a soul clap? Now can I get a soul clap? Now can I get a soul clap? Yes, it's the dog in me. I want it mocap. Now can I get a soul clap? Now can I get a soul clap? Now can I get a soul clap? Yes, it's the dog in me. I want it mo. A fantastic voyage just about to begin. They say the liver proof tends to drip from my pen. I'm going in. You damn right, I'm at it again. With all that said, let the story begin. A fantastic voyage just about to begin. They say the liver proof tends to drip from my pen. I'm going in. You damn right, I'm at it again. With all that said, let the story begin. This microphone fiend is really living his dream. The rhythm to my blues got me slicker than Petey Green. Haven't seen a movie, then you better get your popcorn, cause this verbal intercourse is one super hot porn. On the wings of love like Jerry Osborne, kinda out of shape, but my mind's still in top form. They say I create tsunamis when I brainstorm, writing revelations and my pen is the 8th form. Back to the fun, homie, relax. Life is just a game, so go get to your stats. Cause J.See is drinking Remy V out the bottle. The opposite of hostile, watching models do the wobble. The modern day Aristotle, living by the model that you gotta seize the day, there's no waiting for tomorrow. A backpack beat is good for rocking the joint, cause like a pair of Stacey Adams, I've been staying on point. Yeah, now can I get a soul clap? Now can I get a soul clap? Now can I get a soul clap? Yes, it's the dog in me. I want it mocap.
All right, boom, 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 and we back. This is your boy Enigma September, and this is the Enigma Sept Hour podcast. What you just heard, of course, is my player partner, my homie, my bro, my partner in rhyme, the way we be killing it on the radio, my boy J.See with Soul Clap. His birthday was a few days ago. Give that man's props. Give that man his props. Made it around the sun yet again. It's Leo season. So, yeah, I'm showing my man some love, and I'm showing some more love later on. So, y'all just hold tight. Hold tight. I'm showing some more love. But, yeah, man. Anyway, shout out to J.See and all the Leos out there. Well, my man, A to the L, a couple more days. So, by the time y'all get this audio podcast, A to the L will be another year. Another year older. Sorry, my bros. Oh, I'm born in the summertime, huh? Stats, H and L, stats, summer babies. Anyway, of course, tonight, if you're watching the live or watching the podcast, we have a very, very special guest tonight. None other than the one, the only. Is he the only? They kind of common. I don't know. The one, the only candidate. Well, not the only candidate, but candidate for Leon County Commission Seat 1. Terrance L. Barber. Terrance Barber will be in the building. I think some of y'all may think he may actually be in the building. I'm not gonna say why. You guys will learn later. Anyway, I can say this, Patrick. Like, why are you calling out Patrick? You guys will get it. You'll get it later. Anyway, yeah, man, we got Terrance, and he'll be following through on the live sooner than later. So that should be exciting, of course, because he's running for office. Running for office, man. We here. I told you guys, man. We getting political, getting political. I guess I might as well go ahead and somberly give out a rest in peace to Olivia Newton-John. May she rest in peace. She passed away this week, I think a couple of days ago, actually, or yesterday, by the time it's recording. Not sure. I think she was 70 something. Ain't too old. It ain't Betty White old. She was up there, but she wasn't all the way up there. So yeah, man. So peace and blessings to her family. I know in particular, and I know she's known in particular because of the musical Grease, the musical movie, which I had avoided for a very long time. I hadn't watched that movie. I would avoid that movie because anyone who knows me, despite my affinity to music, I'm not a fan of musicals. At least I wasn't. I think Mackenzie has changed that because, yeah, my baby get up here and rather if it's Moana or what was the other joint that was popping? Don't talk about Bruno. Zombie 1, 2, and 3. You sit there and man, Mackenzie, shit, my baby love musicals. Hey, Nicole, shout out to Nicole. Conversations with Nicole. Of course, y'all should already know to check her out every Monday and Wednesday doing her thing. I think she actually she's gonna be like me. She gonna but she got Shelby Green should be on Thursday. Y'all have the conversation Thursday. So yeah, man, y'all look out for that. Of course, Joe Ward in the building on the shoulders of giants. Warren G looking. It was me and the G child. I'm doing too much. Also, my play sister Raven in the building. I haven't said that in a while. I haven't said play sister in a while. I just been like, that's my sis. Y'all chill out. But yeah, man. My play sister. Just me and the G child. Oh man. Sorry, Joe. I got to anyway, speaking of Raven, I'll put the rest of y'all comments as it come in. I'm not used to people being on YouTube, man. Everybody be on Facebook, and I can't see your comments on Facebook. Sorry. But YouTube popping. Maybe, watch me do this. Come holler at your boy over there YouTube. Man, speaking of Raven, though, man, both our chilling are reaching milestones tomorrow. First of all, Jason, my beloved godson, will be entering middle school tomorrow, man. Seeing him, I told y'all you can have a growth spurt. I told you, I'm looking at Raven. I told you he's gonna be taller than one of y'all by the end of the summer. I seen it. But no, he'll be going to middle school. I'm not telling y'all what middle school because y'all some creeps out there, and I don't want to have to fight y'all. So don't worry about that. But you going to middle school, man, it remind me of my time heading to Raw Middle School. Gotta be 30 years ago, because Jason aged me by 30 years. So everything Jason's going through, it was 30 years ago for me. So 30, clearly 30-something years ago. Not 30-something, 30. Literally 30 years ago. I was in the same boat, fresh face, leaving Rudiger to go to Raw Middle School. And yeah, it was good times, man. Good times. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna be all right. He's gonna be good. Thank you, Kobe. Speaking of the babies, I forgot to lock Kobe up, Felicia. So he's roaming free. Well, apparently he got annoyed. He decided to go and get some water, so you guys can hear that. Thank you, Kobe. This is not an important episode of the podcast. Of course not. Of course I'm gonna leave my dog to roam free and make noise in the background. Great. But what's most important, man, is my baby. Hey, Mackenzie going to kindergarten, y'all. Lord. Mackenzie going to kindergarten. We here. We are here. It's been a long time without you, my friend. Let me stop. What was it? Chris Platt? Who seen that? I want to get no royalties of Wiz Khalifa. His DJ beating up self. Let me relax. Hit that note though. Anyway, my baby going to kindergarten. Man, I know y'all like your granddaughter. Shut up. Forget y'all. Look here. The real question is how wet my face gonna be. That's the real question. I see y'all walk in that room. Man, oh man, child, yeah, man. If you only knew. Good God of Zion, as my daddy would say. Good God of Zion. But man, and honestly, I'm about to cry now. Thank you, God. Thank you. So, actually, right now, I'm pretty sure baby girl is getting tucked in right now, getting ready for the big day tomorrow. But if she happened to be watching, your daddy love you. He love you. I'm proud of you, and I am beyond the understanding that you're gonna knock it out. It's gonna be great times. As you trek through your school years, we here. Shouts out to her preschool. They prepared her and her classmates well enough, so I know she's gonna hit the ground running at her school. Yeah, I'm not telling you guys where she's going to school because I don't want to have to fight you if y'all try something stupid. But man, yeah, we here. We are here. And I thank God. Nope. So let's get into this whackness. Shake it off, boy. Shake it off. All right. I forgot to announce this episode 178. Did I forget? Episode 178 of the Enigma Sept Hour podcast. Of course, Terrance Barber. Let's get into it, man. First of all, Irv Gotti. I can finally use the sound. That wasn't Irv Gotti. Out here tripping. This boy out here tripping. Now I'm like, why Irv Gotti getting the boos? If you haven't heard, so he and Roux was visiting the podcast Drink Champs, of course, of my I guess infamous Nori Claps. Visit Nori and DJ EFN so they can give Irv Gotti his flowers. And he just decided to what's the word? I don't want to be too raunchy this episode. because I'm out here crying about my daughter and my godson. But let's just say he took the flowers, not literally, but figuratively. They would want to give him his flowers, and he decided to be like, you know what? Throw it on my shoulders and show you guys why I really don't deserve any flowers. Let you guys know why the music industry is just trash. And the main thing that came out of it was he admitted, I guess, this is an admission, confession, that he had a relationship with his one time. What do you see? It's a superstar. It's a one time artist, Ashanti, right? And apparently he was upset because she cheated on his married man with a fellow superstar at the time, Nelly. Of course, we all know Nelly and Ashanti was in a famed relationship, and even Nelly showed his whole thing like it didn't matter. Anyway, I had Ashanti, both of y'all had it. Have y'all seen Ashanti? She my age and look like 50 years younger. She all right. Y'all boys messed up. Anyway, but yeah, just apparently was just on the show. I mean, I watched some of the episodes, but he was just being like mad disrespectful, claiming that he was upset because when the ish hit the fan. And those who don't know, Murder Inc. ended up facing a federal charge due to their affiliation with a famed, infamous Queens drug lord named Supreme. And if you don't know who Supreme is, and all the, it's really he got a lot to do with the whole beef between Murder Inc. and 50 Cent and all that other stuff. Anyway, I low-key think Supreme is 50 Cent daddy, but that's just me. That is no truth to that. When nobody coming after me, especially nobody from Jamaica, Queens, saying what? I've always thought that Supreme was 50 Cent daddy, and that's why there was so much animosity between them. But I digress. Anyway, but yeah, man. And then he disrespected Mike Geronimo. Mike Geronimo had to come back and have some words for him, but there's one of the after the repercussions was Fat Joe of all people. And it's interesting when you think about Fat Joe and his behavior during the Fat Joe Ja Rule versus came out and said, yo, like Irv Gotti a sucker, you know what I'm saying, for coming out airing dirty laundry about Ashanti when, you know, whatever they had going on was some 20 years ago. You know what I mean? It was 2002, 2003, whatever. And also, too, like, I don't know, you have to realize some people can be smart in one area and dumb in others. So, of course, you can't take away the fact that Irv Gotti is seemingly a genius when it comes down to at least putting things together in the music industry. Like, he helped introduce us to Ja Rule, DMX, J.See, Mike Geronimo, Ashanti, everybody from Murder Inc., like all of that stuff. And when he's focused and doing things, he there. I think somebody said he's another Dame Dash. Almost in the sense of, yeah, he can be great when he's great, but then just seems to get in his way, you know, especially with his mouth. And with this, it's like, bro, why even bring that up? And then also not just bring it up, but then you could at least been blasé, like, yeah, that happened, but that was in the past. I've grown past that, whatever. Nah, you still stuck on that. You still proving you stuck on that. And what I understand is like, bro, you were wrong. You were wrong in that she was your artist. Like, you had like collateral over her. You know what I mean? And she was a young girl. She was, you know, had to be in her early 20s. Like I said, she my age. And this is 02, clearly before then, 01. but you had to be 2021, fresh in the game. You know what I'm saying? Granted, she had a mom there, but bro, you are her boss. You know what I'm saying? And you decided to have this type of relationship with her. She got out, decided to move on when it got too hot. Probably understanding that it was inappropriate anyway, that not only are you a boss, but you are married with children at the time. And you mad? You mad. Bro, it's like pure definition of like toxicity, bro. Like, make it make sense. Outside of just, again, you can be a genius in some instances and just like real dumb in others and just not have the emotional intelligence to understand, bro, no, that's not cool. It's not cool. It's not cute. Stop it. You got to be almost 50, if not 50. It didn't dawn on you yet how the life work yet? You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. That's what's going on right now. I mean, dog, if Fat Joe can tell you being inappropriate with all the things he's done, yeah, bro, you messed up. You really messed up. Speaking of people that's messed up, Eminem dropped his second greatest hits album titled Curtain Call 2. But E, yeah, bro, that's like your favorite rapper alive. He's your number 2. Yeah. You trying to tell us it's whack? That the greatest hits is whack? Yeah, man. Yeah. All right, bet. First of all, yeah, I did that. Anyway, second, I don't blame M. I blame Paul. It's Paul's fault. If you're a stan, you know who I'm talking to. You know who I'm talking about. It's Paul's fault. It's straight Paul's fault. I know it's Paul's fault because only an idiot like Paul Rosenberg would not only make that ugly, ill-advised cover, could just remix the original. Took a shot back at that one. You made this ugly, corny, immature. What's wrong with these 70s babies, man? Anyway, sorry, Nicole. I'm booing myself. Nicole, like, no, he didn't. No, he didn't come from the 70s babies. You don't know me like that. I don't. I'm around the cuffs. I was born in 1980. I can't say nothing. But no, ugly cover, first of all. But then they started to do like a mini podcast, and I saw a cover, like a part, like the same cover graphic, but with Paul face on it. I knew that's the problem. But yeah, granted, I am amazed that M has had the hits that he's had since Nicole said, that's right, you don't know me. Oh, yo. I just imagine Nicole shaking her finger like, you don't know me. Enigma. E. Shouts out Nicole calling me E. And not M. No, I'm gonna get in trouble. Anyway, speaking of Eminem, look, it's all right. It's a good listen. It just bloated. It didn't need to be a double album. Like, you could have made a double album of the first greatest hits, not the second. And it was just reaching for stuff. They didn't even have like 2 of his top hits. The one with Young M.A., they didn't have that joint on there. They didn't have Copacetic, Claustrophobic, can't even say the word. The joint with 2 Chainz. Like, he had like hits that you didn't even put on a double disc greatest hits project. Shady. Please. Anybody at Shady Records? I ain't scared of you, Nicole. Yeah, I am. I'm don't mess with y'all messing around. That's a sophisticated black lady. That's to be the main ones that come and get you for. Nicole seemed like the type to be like, oh, Nicole's so sweet and nice. To be that one time, be the wrong person at the wrong time. Like, what? Nicole did what? You tried it. You tried it. That's still Dade County. She's still from South Florida. What you thought? I thought it was a conversation with Nicole. She have a conversation with psychiatrists all the time. Think she don't know crazy? Clearly she know crazy. She's interviewing people that know crazy. She know crazy. So she can bring it to you. Messing around. Oh, man. No, shouts out to Nicole, man. I'm trying to be like you. Trying to be like you, player. See, look at that. Dade County, man. See, yep. Y'all know how it is. Come to Dade County, come up in Leon, tearing up stuff. Oh, man. Anyway, yeah, Eminem, man. If you're interested, if you're a stan, if not, let's talk about the real GOAT. Talk about the real GOAT before we wrap this thing on up, man. I know y'all like, yo, this all kind of, you ain't gonna talk about, you gonna talk about Rich Boston. What's the boy name? What's the little young boy? Is it Rich Boston? That's his name? Oh, I forgot. I'm gonna find out one day. Feature brought him out of down there in Miami. He on now. So I could talk about who gonna be at. What's the little boy gonna be at the Civic Center for homecoming? I can't. What's that boy name? Lil Dirt. I got sound like an old man. I said Lil Dirt. A little dirt right there, boy. A little dirt and ball, boy. I remember a little dirt when you a little boy. He used to go out there. Getting old, man. Getting old. Lil Durk, all right though. Y'all jits have fun. Y'all have fun with that one. I'm gonna go see Ricky Smiley. No, you old. You excited about Ricky Smiley. Anyway, you got some milk. Speaking of old people, LL Cool J got presented the key to the city of Queens as he kicked off the Rock the Bells Festival in his hometown this past weekend. Now, I mentioned that my boy DJ A to the L birthday is coming up. I think A to the L shares a birthday with hip hop. Am I right, Alan? No, but yeah, I think August 11th. August 11th. I think no. Is it August 11th? Is it a day? It's a day of or the day before. It's one of them things. Regardless, next year will be hip hop's 50th birthday. And I mentioned that because the festival, choking on my words, the festival is supposed to help raise money for the opening of the hip hop museum that's going to open up in the Bronx next year, of course, on the 50th anniversary of the culture of hip hop, which is recognized as August 11th, 1973. Nicole, remember that day? No more Nicole jokes. I'm done for the night. I'm done. But nah, man. To the culture, it was a good time. LL did his thing, man. Shouts out to LL Cool J. My first favorite rapper. Bring it back full circle. LL Cool J was my first favorite rapper until 1994. I'm done. I'm done, Nicole. I am done. You guys just make sure to check out Conversations with Nicole. You see how I'm popping, how you popping up on mine, popping up in my comments. How I be trying to interject. I be feeling bad. I be really want to say goofy stuff, but I can't because Nicole's show is so informative. So it's just like I really can't be a troll right now. But sometimes the people be saying funny stuff. They be some funny stuff, even in the seriousness. All right, Ray. See, that's why I Ray my sister. Because that's what Drill would do. Drill was like, hey, get back on your square. But yeah, man, just an L Cool J pulling off the festival. And speaking of being off your square, Kanye, look, man, the man that left your girl alone. Take that back. That ain't even your girl. All right, y'all still got a pending divorce. Leave that man alone. All right, man lost his whole father in 9/11. We already know he ain't got them all. Way before you claim you ain't have them all. You would think one would be sympathetic, knowing that you ain't got them all, he ain't got them all, and both of y'all deserve respect and peace of mind. Trying to get yourself together. Chill out, bro. You look silly. It ain't cute. You what? 45 years old. What is you doing with your life? You got billions, bro. You are possibly the richest black man in America. Probably the richest black man in the world. At this point, why are you concerned? What is this man doing? They ain't gonna post something about his death if this is real. You got money. You got fame. You got alteration. You changed the culture. This is beneath you. Way beneath you. Let me flip it. Forget you, Kanye. Those who admire Kanye, don't stop. I don't care how much money you got. That's one. Let me reiterate. And I've been saying this 1,000 times. Just because somebody rich don't mean they smart or wise. Stop it. Money does not equate intelligence or wisdom. I don't care how much money you got. He's a fool. Stop idolizing him. But 808 and Heartbreaks is a classic. I can't help that. I'm sorry. It is. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. 808 and Heartbreaks is a classic, though. I'm sorry. Anyway, enough about getting serious, man. We're going to go ahead and go into this next track. Song I made because I'm a rapper. This is The Rain Part 2 featuring J.See, my man Rawby, and Backpack Beatz. And then we'll come right back with our guests. This is the Enigma Sept Hour. You got time, baby.
I'm really not a rapper, I'm really only a writer. So it's funny how I keep getting invited to a cipher and stand behind every single bar that's like a lifer. When James is blunt, somebody get him a lighter. Making radio fire from what I put through the wire. My situation is dire, that's why I'm giving a fire. Magnificent Seven, attire, music supplier. Second chance of life and I'm feeling like a messiah. No, I'm not a liar, but know what is some good G's. Trying to keep it deeper than the 6 feet I should be at. You ain't really hearing this cat. I went through a lot to go sit in that Cadillac. 011 signs, what do reside in my mind? Divine 9 rhyme, a step ahead of my time. Need I remind these cops killing my kind? This little light of mine, you right, I'm letting it shine.
As I walk through the shadow of death, with little heart nothing left, Lord, please wash away my fears. As the rain wash away my tears, yeah, wash away my tears. Like the rain just keep on falling, do not fall to lose your balance. Rain just keep on falling, do not fall to lose your balance.
I was a poet first and then a rapper, yeah, rapper, yeah. I was. Check. We wasn't rich, but we wasn't poor. I had to gain, had to gather more. I took a detour. I hit the guinea dreams inside my noggin. Hit the bloggers, blood on coffins. Music's up for auctions. Risking life up on the block for profit. Teacher tried to teach but never taught us. It came to art cause I was not astonished. I fit and polished, my stars are garnished. Nigga. Yeah, My hands are sticky, I was never flawless. I hit the road before I hit the projects. But when it comes to projects, I've been writing me some, like 3 of them. Yeah, mama raised me, but my pops grazed me. But now we're back to basics, glad we made it. Sipping liquor helps my dream chase it. But if I'm loose, it got me stupid 100%, so I had to use it. Observing people just for my amusement. I hit the gym just to work my chest out. I hit the tree just to work my stress out. I'm moving high and going grab the ladder. And cut the chatter, man, cause nothing matters if it's lacking balance. Yeah, one more time. And cut the chatter, man, cause nothing matters if it's lacking balance. Balance.
As I walk through the shadow of death, with little or nothing left, Lord, please wash away my fears. As the rain wash away my tears. Yeah, wash away my tears. Like
the rain just keep on falling. Do not fall to lose your balance. Rain just keep on falling. Do not fall.
All right, boom, 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 and we back. It's the boy Enigma September, and this is the Enigma Sept Hour. What you just heard was myself, Mr. J.See, Mr. Rawby, and Mr. Backpack Beatz with The Rain Part 2. And yeah, without further ado, we got the guest of the hour, my man Terrance L. Barber in the building. What's going on, my boy?
Hey, what's going on, my brethren? What's going on, man? How you feeling?
Doing all right.
Yeah, man. Mic check. Can you hear me good?
It's a little stick. What mic are you using?
I don't know, because I couldn't get on StreamYard on my MacBook. It wouldn't let me, so I'm on my phone.
Okay, this should be fine. Let me see. Do you have we can edit through this. Yeah, feedback.
You getting feedback?
You got headphones?
Yeah.
You put in your phone?
Want me to grab?
We'll wait for you. Go ahead. Yeah, man. It's all good, man. I'm just glad he's here. You know what I mean? Uh-oh. I was vibing to the music. I forgot. Anyway, in the meantime, y'all see my mama? Just my mama. My mama said, "Welcome to the podcast, Mr. Barber." Yeah, Ray came right back on. Hey, my Ray. Yeah, that should work. All
right. Gotcha.
All right. So before we get into the bulk of things, how should I say this? So I want to give a disclaimer to the folks out there, just so y'all don't get it confused. Now, those who know, I got married a couple years ago.
Congratulations.
So with that marriage, I gained two daddies. I had one. I gained another. My wife's father, and then my wife's stepfather, or bonus dad. In the meantime, in between time, for those who may not know, that bonus father is also an uncle of the guest we have tonight.
Correct.
So both share the same last name. Thank you, baby.
Absolutely.
So I just want to get that disclaimer. Now, those who also those who know that the head honcho of this thing, Freedom Train Radio, of course, is my in-law as well. So it's a family affair tonight, y'all. It's a family affair.
We all family.
Shouts out to Terrance. Shouts out to the power investor in state of Florida for putting us all together.
Absolutely, bro.
So good, man. I'm glad to have you on the podcast.
And I appreciate the invite, my brother.
No doubt. So I guess off top, man, like before we became cousins, if you will,
right.
I already knew of you, and you was already, doing things in the community. So I know it, for those who already know you, it was almost like a natural fit for you to go ahead and be on this journey. But what was the moment? What was the epiphany that came to you and said, you know what? I need to go ahead and get in this office and see what I can do from behind the board.
I guess I got a mentor that tells me always find your why. Like find your why. Find your why. And like it's been years since I understood like why God was leading me down the path that He was taking me down, even with Working Class Wednesday, with me forming that organization. At the time, I didn't even own a business, but yet and still, I formed this organization and event and group of entrepreneurs and business owners, with me myself not actually owning a business, with and which Working Class Wednesday literally became my business. Terrance L. Barber LLC became the business. And then I was afforded a lot of different circles, seats at different tables. And I guess the more I knew, the more I realized that we really don't have a seat at the table, but there's an available seat. It just so happens to be occupied. And of course, in this race, in this latest endeavor, I don't consider anyone my opponent except for the clock. And I think that as leaders, as a people, we're not obligated to wait on the clock to expire prior to us stepping into our roles in leadership. So that was one of my biggest things, man, just looking around certain rooms and not seeing anyone from this community, yet and still all of these people were making decisions on behalf of this community. So I felt the need to bridge that gap and fill that void, man. And it's been an amazing journey.
No doubt, no doubt. Now, speaking of the ops.
Here we go. Let me put my disclaimer. Do I need to do a disclaimer?
I got you. No, check it out. Just for anybody out there got I ain't got no beef. I got no beef with the other side at all. You know what I'm saying? He's in a marble job. He's did a marble job at speaking up for the community and doing things. However, and I thought it was a joke. I thought maybe I was over exaggerating in my mind until I went and did the research. This man has been in this office since I was in 9th grade. Right. I'm 41 years old.
I was in the 10th.
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro. You know what I mean? So, and it's just like, cool. It's great. It's wonderful that, you know, he's done what he's done. And they got
with all due respect. Yeah, with all due respect.
Yeah. We need something. We need new energy. We need new energy. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's time. Well, times change. The city has changed clearly. You know what I'm saying? Since that point, and it's just like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? We need new energy, man. Me doing this, this other stuff he can do. I look too. He's the same age as my mama. My mama retired. You all right, bro?
Enjoy life.
These are the views expressed by Enigma September. Go back and say I said it.
Man.
But no, man. Yeah, then that's. But honestly, like I saw a post between I think what's baby girl name? Ali. Jasmine Ali.
Jasmine Ali. Yeah.
I know she ran the previous time.
Real good sister, man. Yeah, young, energetic.
Yeah. Right.
She almost did it.
Right, and that was my thing. Was just like, you know, it wasn't beef with whatever he had going on. It's cool, but it's just like, yo, we just need new energy. We need somebody with new ideas.
Old keys won't open new doors. It's time to open new doors. We can't use the old key. Yeah,
that's it.
That's the truth.
You know what I mean? And plus, yeah, man, same as my mama. Anyway, so
shout out to mama.
I love you, mom. I love you. So, but being with that, said, chill out, Joe. Chill out, Joe. We know. Chill out, Joe. Sounds like my mama. Mama said hashtag open new doors. Exactly. So, Mr. Barber, speaking of new doors and new keys, what new doors are or do you anticipate opening up for Leon County if and when you are elected?
Yeah. Well, first of all, first and foremost, of course, with all of us, with me living in this community for 41 years, just as you have, we all are afraid of gentrification and the color of our community is changing. We have a housing shortage. Affordable housing is at an all-time low. They call it a housing crisis. Right now, we're not training the workforce properly. We have little black boys that don't have access to trades and to training, to things that we as a community used to hold so near and dear, have now been stigmatized within the walls of this college town. I think that we first have to look at the poverty in our community in order to kind of rid off some of the gentrification. We have to create sustainable businesses. We need infrastructure within or adjacent to black neighborhoods to sustain black-owned businesses. We need a more robust housing program in which we have vacant homes everywhere in our communities. They're all concentrated in our communities. When I go on the tax lien list and look at homes that are going on the auction block, they're all concentrated in District 1 and in black communities. We need probate assistance. A lot of times people in our community don't understand that we need a will in place when loved ones pass, that home, simply because grandmother said leave it to you, it doesn't necessarily automatically by law belong to you. And of course, probate attorneys can be very expensive. So we need to look at Alachua County has a very robust housing program in which they're giving first-time home buyers up to $25,000 in down payment assistance. They're helping heir property beneficiaries with the probate process. And that would kind of help stop some of the gentrification. You can't gentrify occupied neighborhoods. You can't gentrify what we own. But on the flip side of that, we can't control what we don't own until we promote ownership in our own communities, ownership of our black-owned businesses, brick and mortar businesses, until we start educating our young folks that there are other post-secondary pathways outside of four-year universities. And that I visited Lively the other day, case in point. And I'm not going to, I can talk all day about it seriously, but like I visited Lively the other day. Of course, we just gave this $27 million investment to Florida State, $10 million to FAMU, $1 million to TCC, not a dollar, not $1 went to Lively. Imagine how many black kids could go to, not even black kids, think about all the returning citizens, black men being overly incarcerated in this country, in this county, who could go to vocational school and get a training and a certification for absolutely free, had we used some of those economic development dollars to actually economically develop our communities. So there's a plethora of things, of course, brother. There's no one answer. It wasn't overnight for us to get here. But I can say that if I had a goal in the next 28 years, that's not to be your county commissioner. I guarantee you that, man. So I think that if we're impactful, if we're intentional, because of course staff and recommendations and all those things are wonderful for commissioners to sit back and wait on staff to recommend, But I think we have to get out into the community, like you said, like I've been doing for so many years, and listening to the hearts and the needs of the people, and then having that reflected in our leadership.
Man, you said a mouthful.
In a nutshell.
Anybody who know me, know a hot topic for me has been the 27 million donation to what Joe said. I was gonna take something else. It won't be nice. My man Joe said I was gonna take something else. Won't be nice on this one. But matter of fact, I had a back and forth with somebody the other day on the Face in the Book, and you know, they were talking about that I guess investment, if you will, and I mentioned, I think a lot of people are not blind, but don't realize the somewhat racial component of that that investment or that donation. In that, okay, yeah, there was money given to FAMU for improvement to Bragg and whatever else. But the ideal of thinking that, well, Florida State should get some too because FAMU got it. And it's like, no, but clearly you got to understand how undeveloped FAMU and the area around FAMU has been unserved or underserved compared to Florida State and areas around Florida State. So it's like, that's not a comparison. But I like the fact that, you know, you even take a step further than I've seen it. And that's why I like, you know, want to see something that encompasses the entire situation. And that's absolutely true that some of that money could have went to Lively and help with trades, and especially when it comes down to, like you said, people returning back from incarceration and the idea of recidivism, which is always been a passion for mine since I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Like the ideal of, you know, most times people when they coming out of prison, they want to go straight. They want to go and do things. Matter of fact, whatever they was doing in the beginning, it's probably due to feeling like they had no options. And it makes no sense. It never made any sense to me for someone to be put in that situation, come out, you put more restrictions on them than they had before they went in, but then expect them to be as successful or even more successful than they was when they had more on, they had less on them then. Now you put more on them, you expect them to, you know what I'm saying, make diamonds out of. So
absolutely.
And it's amazing because you have those that do that, and you know that should always be applauded. But it makes no sense for us to put more obstacles in the way of people that just trying to get their life together. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the most part, there ain't too many people that's out here trying to make trouble. They just trying to get by.
Right.
And
most times people don't want a handout; they need a hand up sometimes.
Right. Word. You know what I'm saying? Just give them the tools. Sometimes literally, give them the tools and what they got, and they're gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you hit a nerve with that one because that's always been a passion of mine. And I actually, before the current governor went off the rails in the past couple of years before the pandemic, that was really my only beef with him. Was, you know, the whole, you know, the people had voted for felons to be able to have the right to vote, which is something basic.
Correct. Right.
The right to vote is that's basic. That's something simple that we should be able to do.
Right. As a citizen.
People had voted to give it to them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, as a citizen, so you can feel like you are part of the community. That's the problem.
Taxpaying citizen. Yeah, taxpaying citizen.
And they said, look, we should let this happen. And he went behind and said, no, we're gonna make it a little bit harder. You got to pay out the fines. Why? You know what I'm saying? And so I just don't understand why society feel like we got to put more obstacles in front of people that's just trying to make it. It's hard enough out here. Ain't no need use.
Right.
But what you gonna get out of it? If anything, it's just gonna hurt you because now they can't do what they got to do. So they gonna come after what you got.
And the governor understands that affects a predominantly black and brown population.
Exactly.
He understands that. Our neighborhoods are over policed. We are sentenced harsher, monitored harsher than other demographics for a reason. If folks in power did not know how powerful we were together, they wouldn't try so hard to keep us divided. They wouldn't try to, emasculate a black man in such ways that they do.
Right.
Harsh truth.
That's why we got to come out here, man. We got to make sure that we use that power. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And not just use that power. Understand we got to use that power, but understand too. This is why I really had a passion of trying to get candidates like Shelby Green and Terrance Barber on, because these local offices can be touched. You know what I'm saying? You can sit here all day and talk about what's happening in DC, or even try to talk about what's happening on the Capitol. And of course, we live in Tallahassee. The Capitol does seem touchable Oh, we literally can't touch you. You want to go on a tour anyway, but
Right.
is our local politics is where you can truly have an effect, and you can meet these people. You know what I'm saying? You can touch these people. Terrance is almost everywhere.
I try to be. I'm taking a break when it's over.
Yeah, you can work
man.
I know it's gonna rev up.
Man, stay the course. Rest when you're done. 14 days, man. Yeah, we're gonna rest when we're done. We praying that, on that 14th day we see a victory that's conducive for a quick little break, then start the real work. But of course, in the primary right now, we have a third leg in the race, which was, I'm not certain how that happened, but behind that.
Oh, Terrance, you have some technical difficulties. Try if you can hear me, try to come out and then come back in. Matter of fact, we'll take this time. Go ahead, play a couple tracks, and then when you come back in, you know what I'm saying, we'll see what we can look after the 14 days up and you get that victory. My man Joe said most of all it's about knowledge and awareness and what's already available. And yep. So we're gonna play these two tracks, man. I got my girl C Red featuring 4 Eyes with God Willing, and then C Red with Mama Told Me, and my mama just told me that my cousin doing a good job. So this is the Enigma Sept Hour. You got time, baby.
God willing, we make a killing, but keep commandments. In a time where the truth is hidden, deceit is rampant. Pray for discernment to know the real ones from sycophantics. I'ma move like I know my mission, you keep your antics. I flow like minstrel, y'all show like minstrel, I walk by faith. To shine my light so they see my father and not my face. A torch before men, only real ones I'm endorsing. Now I'm morphine and the pain relief they need like high endorphins. Like an opiate, so be it. Less friends and associates, no weapons formed against us prosper. Playing snakes like Nokia's. From cotton pickers to cropping pictures. Cannabis dispensers, yet no plan to free lots of niggas. I'm bothered, still trying to be the one in chapter 31 of Proverbs. So I give it all to God, I tell him thanks and fix my posture. It was never about me. Sometimes I don't know what to say, but then my spirit leads me, so I know I'm just a mouthpiece. I've been grinding, matter undermined. Acting over, arguing, can't waste a lapse in time. Born with mad potential, and I pray I'm tapping mine. So I'm stepping out on faith, although they say get back in line. I've been grinding, matter undermined. Acting over, arguing, can't waste a lapse in time. Born with mad potential, and I pray I'm tapping mine. So I'm stepping out on faith, although they say get back in line.
Yeah, God willing, I'm blood spilling, a sacrificial murder in the name of the Lord. See what had happened is you didn't think the angel of death would be a lyricist, snatching souls. They don't know how valuable spirit is. Here it is, God in the flesh, physical vehicle, merkable or macabre. My 7 chakras agreeable with benevolent energy. Fortunate storytellers, illumination, my aura's aurora borealis. If it don't compel us to improve the quality, I'ma make them kiss my Converse and honor me. Probably sodomy. 4 eyes, get in that anus. The rap Anubis, I Canis major, your minor playlist, my firmament. Separate the waters from the waters in the studio recorders. Quantum leap and teleporters to another level or a different plane of reality. These psychic powers are hard to explain to my family.
Mama told me never lose myself when trying to gain a friend. My daddy taught me principles, cause what you felt can change like wind. It's so hard to explain, but pain I really love to explain. Yeah, one time for the one time, one time for the one time. I love to serve, but still don't think it's selfish that I came to look. See, I remember being at the crib, narrow tail, nappy head. Mama told me have enjoyment more than having happiness. Pride always proceeds to fall. Called it out and acquiesce. It's worse to be a fine fool than virtuous and badly dressed. Pressure clothes with the starch, cause you gon' have to work twice as hard to get half the march. Cause you dark, be careful, don't relax your guard and be smart. I was playing basketball in the park. Only house of cards I knew was the spades. At my core I knew I was loved, but still got the switch for not misbehave. Gave conviction, I'd be amazed. If I worked hard and I prayed that I could never fix my mind in a cage. If I was being victimized and enraged. My dad advised only speak my truth when I grip the mic on the stage. As I sit and reflect, I never will forget the tribe that raised me.
My mama told me never lose myself when trying to gain a friend. My daddy taught me principles, cause what you felt can change like wind. It's so hard to explain, but man, I really love this lane I'm in. I love to serve, but still don't think it's selfish that I came. Don't think it's selfish that I came to win.
Thank God when you wake up, separate facades from the straight up. If he ain't got a job, don't be laid up. Try to keep 3 months rent saved up. Play the food for soul at the table. God is good and he's able. Not sometimes, but all the time. Gotta know yourself where to draw the line.
All right, boom, 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 and we back. This is your boy Enigma September, and this is the Enigma Sept Hour podcast. What you just heard was my girl C Red featuring 4 Eyes out of Atlanta with God Willing, and C Red and the Roux with Mama Told Me. And we coming back with Cuzzo candidates.
My apologies, man. I think we got it right now.
Man, you good. Yo, you know what? It's StreamYard. It's I got a strange relationship with this app. Oh no. Zoom gonna call me back sooner than later. StreamYard better get it together. But regardless, man, before we went to the songs or whatever, we did mention that we now have 14 days, 2-week stretch for the primary on August 25th. So what can, I mean, I know we know that voter registration in Florida is already over, but what can people who want to support your campaign, what can they do now to try to push you across that finish line?
Man, volunteer, word of mouth. Of course, we are still accepting donations at www.barber4leon.com. Also, early voting starts on the 13th. So early voting polls will actually open this Saturday. This Saturday on the south side, I know for sure you can vote at B.L. Perry Library, I believe FAMU Student Union, FSU Student Union, Woodville. You can vote at the community center there. So, I mean, the election literally started already, of course, with a lot of mail-in ballots due to COVID a few years back. Now, a lot of people receive their ballots by mail. So, 23rd, we'll know the answer to everything, all the work that we've done. But, yeah, the 13th, we starting with early voting. Of course, we need sign waivers, man, and folks, just to continue to spread the word, man. Word of mouth. It's a small city and even smaller district. So just telling folks, spreading the word, man. I try not to get into the weeds, to talk about, what hasn't been done. I will say this. I want to make sure I get this thought out because it was sort of an epiphany that I had the other day while I was speaking to another brother about voting and the fact that he doesn't vote because he doesn't see change. And of course, the definition of insanity is to continuously do the same thing over and over and expect a different result. Right. And I started digging and looking just at statistically speaking, how we choose our Black leadership. And what I found was Black people have been tricked into disqualifying our most effective leaders in our community. Did you disappear this time? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay, he disappeared for a second. I was trying to make sure. But just follow me on this, right? We live in over-policed neighborhoods, poorer neighborhoods, less activities, less access. These are all the things that we want changed about our communities, and we know what the results of this systematic oppression is. Per my research, 51% of Black men, roughly 50% of Black men by the age of 23 have experienced one form of incarceration. That means that almost half of Black men by the time they're 23 have experienced some sort of incarceration. Black men, every Black, that's out of all Black men in this country. At that point, Black people disqualify half of their Black men from leadership. At that point. before we turn 25, we as a culture have disqualified half of our black men from leadership. Yet we, on a resume, not only does it ask for your educational background and your tutelage, it also asks about your experience.
Right.
We disqualify black people, black men more specifically, with the experience in the community, who may have, changed the trajectory of their lives. A lot of us were different people at 18, 19, 20 years old. But we, as a people, have been taught to stigmatize everything that we didn't have to go through because we're perfect, right? Because we never had to experience that. So why did they have to experience that? And I'm not championing for any one particular group, but I just wanted to throw that thought out there because I found that to be so horrific. And then when people wonder why we're stuck with such lackluster leaders, is what I like to call them. Because we, as a people, disqualify people from living what's been so eloquently put as the black experience.
Right.
And that I think is the atrocity that we shoot our own self in the foot when it's time to choose our leaders. I think that it's time out for politics. We don't need another politician. We don't need another person to come to this community seeking opportunity and turn our community into a case study. What I've witnessed on the dais, most of our commissioners aren't from here. Not saying that you can't come here and become and grow into a leadership role in this community. But if we're being honest, when most college kids come here, they refer to us as the locals.
Right.
We're the locals. And there's a classism. There's a certain classism that is depicted by those pupils. And now those same college kids are our commissioners, our judges, and other things. And for some of them, we're still the locals.
Right.
So when we ask why so many resources are being allocated to institutions of higher education, we must also keep in mind that those are the communities that cultivated most of our elected leadership.
Right.
So when their loyalty lies with the community that cultivated them, Vaughn didn't cultivate them. Griffin Heights didn't cultivate them. The South Side didn't cultivate them. So we have to be intentional. We need black people to make sure that we are getting out and voting. Right now in District 1, we have about an 18% voter turnout rate historically. That's 18% of the people who are actually registered to vote. Not counting folks who could register, who just don't.
Right.
I think that the answer to that is people have been waiting on something that they can relate to. And,
True.
And I think the time to do right is always right now. And it's growing near, man. We're 14 days out. So, yeah, man, I wanted to make sure I got that thought out, man, because sometimes we as a people, we don't give as much grace to each other as we should. And I think that would probably change our communities dramatically, man. I really do.
No, that's real. That's real. I gotta give you spoke a mouthful, especially to a once young boy who decided to, or maybe even forced to, sorry, mama, live on campus as a freshman at Florida A&M. And yeah, man, it used to trip me out. I'd be on campus and, you had people from Atlanta and Chicago and Houston and Miami, of course, New York, Cali, and Philly. And, everybody had their cities and representing who they from, where they from, of course. And yeah, they look at me and like, "Oh, you a local?" You know what I'm saying? But
right. That was the worst thing you could be. That was the worst thing you could be.
But what I found was funny was I'm like, all right, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? You got about 100 of your homeboys over there. You may got about 200 of your homeboys over there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even 3. You know what I'm saying? You from Miami, you probably got a good amount of your homies here. But Playboy, you cross Magnolia, all my people.
Thousands.
So you can claim what you want to claim on this campus, but once you step off this campus, They're my cousins. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, a local thing.
Different culture. It's a different culture growing up in a college town, man. I tell people all the time,
man.
like you really have to experience it. They kind of know, like you got to think, man. A lot of these young folks are being told, of course, we were told that all our life. You want to be successful, you better stay in college, you better go to school, you better go to school.
Right.
So at the point that you realize that, whether it be discipline, intellect, extenuating circumstances, traumatic experiences at home, having to help your mother or father put food on the table, different things. The moment a lot of these young folks decide they're not fit for institutions of higher education, they begin seeking opportunities.
Right.
And a lot of times the opportunities that are readily available in our communities don't have positive outcomes, so to speak. So I think that's one of the biggest things we need to do, man, is create opportunities within these communities. We need to start better training our young folks and destigmatizing post-secondary pathways that have nothing to do with having $100,000 worth of student loan debts. Like we really can, like there's other methods, man. There's common sense. And I think that we've gotten so far away from that it's not gonna be overnight, bro. But like we have gotten so far off the mark. Right now, we have the highest juvenile incarceration rate in the state of Florida. We lock up more babies per capita than any other county in the state of Florida. They say we have the poorest zip code in the state of Florida.
Where I reside at right now. I actually reside.
And I mean, like, and when you take all that into account, we have two of the most prestigious institutions of higher education. Tallahassee Community College, one of the top-rated community colleges in the nation. And you couple that, this is the capital of one of the richest states in the United States, yet and still we have all of these atrocities happening in the shadows of these universities, man. I don't think I know. We got to change our trajectory, man. Like, we can't keep mistaking movement with progress. We move around a lot, but we're not making any progress. Any progress, man. And that's the change that we have to make.
Let me add, man. Stop bringing these restaurants here. Stop bringing these restaurants here. We need real industry, like my man Terrance saying. We need real industry for these kids. Like I said, they don't have to necessarily have to go off to college and get into all kind of debt and just going to college for the sake of going to college. Now, if you already know what you want to do and you know college is going to get you there, that's cool. But if you don't know what you want to do, or if you know it's something that you don't necessarily need college, let's provide them opportunities. And part of that is having industry here, bringing in industry here that doesn't entail having to flip a burger. We tired. All right. These are so many boat jingles you can bring here in Tallahassee. Like, we good. We all right. We can eat. We get that. We need something where people can come in here and make a livable wage and be able to take care of themselves and their families.
There's so many ways, brother. Like, a lot of people don't know that. Right. Like, I became a single father, man, when I was 22 years old. As I was in college. Like, single father. Like, not like my son was taken from his mom due to drug addiction. So I had to come and get sole custody of him. And I fell forward. I hate to use the term falling back because I don't think you should ever fall back. You should always fall forward. Fall forward. But if it wasn't for the fact that my dad had taught me a trade, like he taught my brother and I the drywall business, that way I was able to sustain myself. It was at that point that I probably would have started, seeking other options in order to put food on the table for myself and my child. Because I mean, literally, I'm a kid myself, 22 years old, young black man in college town. That was, that took some growing up real quick. Like, because my mom wasn't with that dropping babies off. Like, not at the time. She was still working full time herself. So I think that, man, we have to start putting something in these kids' hands, man. Because if not, they're gonna pick up something. And a lot of times, man, my dad always taught me that we have two ears and one mouth, and I think we gotta start listening to these young folks, this younger generation, man. They're a lot smarter than we give them credit for. And I think we're gonna take a holistic approach to leadership. We have to include them as well.
No doubt. Yo, let me get my Nicole on real quick. You know what I'm saying? Read these comments.
Is that Nicole Everett?
My man Outlaw Beatz said, I like his thought process, and instead of blaming and finger pointing, scapegoating, he just explains the way it is and what, why, and what logistic things can be done to reclaim the community. That's absolutely right. Nicole, she came through and said great points about disqualification. I actually feel like I sound like Nicole right now. Great points about disqualification, incarceration, and voting in the Black community. Man, Outlaw Beatz came back and said, I think a lot of politicians like to create enemies, but no solutions to the actual problems. They like to point it out. That's true. A politicking. Nicole came back. Ain't no time for no problems, man. Let's get to the solution because time is short. Nicole said, can't keep mistaking movement for progress. Now that's a word. And then she came back and said, get you Nicole on E. Clearly.
That's my sister right there now.
Also, off camera, Felicia said and most college students don't research candidates they're voting for. They end up just voting like their parents. And then that's another reason why we kind of get stuck in the stigma of, get stagnant, really. You get stagnant because you go into just voting for, the norm, or just, mama who? Say, what you vote for? And it's just like, mama don't know stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and also you got to take into consideration, I didn't mean to cut you off, but think about having 50,000 registered voters and the same person winning every election cycle with less than 10,000 votes.
That's wild.
Imagine that. Look at that. Look at the data. Like, look at the rubric of that. Look how disengaged the community has become. And I challenge anyone to think, like, sometimes you can hold on to something so tight for so long that you're not only stunning your own growth because you're sitting here holding this, making sure that it doesn't, and you're also stunting the growth of it. Like, I think that there's a certain level of narcissism, and this is all due respect. There's a certain level of narcissism that must accompany one's thought process. To think that after almost 3 decades, I'm still the most qualified and effective pupil to be in this leadership. Bro, 1996, I don't even know if the internet was out. Like,
barely. No, it was out because my girlfriend at the time had the internet. I remember that.
Let me talking about this girlfriend, cuz.
We talking about those. My bad, Fee.
Right, man. But that's just with all due respect, man. I think that at times change. There's a good time to leave everything, man. Relationships, jobs, opportunity. There's a good time. There's times that you should evolve. You should want more. And one thing that other demographics of people do, and they do it very well, it is an effort to not stagnate growth in their communities, is they groom up and coming leadership. That's what they do. Like, so that, but we as a people, we begin to feel so entitled to certain seats and positions, to whereas every time we do finally pass the baton, it's like I got to pick it up off the ground, brush it off, get ready to run. Everybody else already took off and left me. Now we're playing catch up. Every time that the passing of the guard takes place, we're always at a deficit because we've chosen to hold on. What if we passed it while it was still, what if we passed it while gun violence wasn't through the roof? What if we passed it when poverty wasn't through the roof? What if we passed it when our literacy rate wasn't so low? Like, what if we did that? What if we passed it before we were on the cusp of gentrifying our communities? What if we passed it if affordable housing wasn't at a travesty as it is in this community, man? We tearing down housing projects. We selling projects. Like, we just sold Holton Street, Swakoko. We just tore down Orange Avenue. There will be no more public housing in Tallahassee very, very soon. Remember I said this. The Orange Avenue apartments that they are building, those are not public housing. That is affordable housing. Black folks need to understand that is two totally different things.
I was telling Fee the other day.
It's different, man. And if you notice, like, Magnolia Drive just reopened on the south side. They now have 6-foot sidewalks on Magnolia Drive. 6 feet. Bro, I'm 6 feet tall. That means I can lay down head to toe That's how wide the sidewalks are. Now that they have the new development on the south side, the south side deserves 6 foot wide sidewalks. What about when
Right.
little black kids were walking to the bus stop from Magnolia Terrace?
Right.
What about then? Why doesn't local leadership feel like, and they call us indigenous? That's a word that I hate when referred to when I'm at these commission meetings. They call us the indigenous people of the South Side, the indigenous people, which it means native, but it gives me Native American. That's what it resonates when it's said. And of course, we know what happened in that story.
Right. Right.
But like, why is it that we tore down the projects and now we're doing all of this development and then we're hanging our hats on the amount of money that we have pledged to spend on the South Side, but we leave out the fact that the indigenous people of the South Side have been displaced.
Exactly.
So it's like we can't change the color of a community and then usher in infrastructure and still call it the same community because it no longer exists.
Right.
You know, like they say the Frenchtown revitalization. No, Frenchtown is gone. Frenchtown was a business hub. There was businesses lining up and down Macomb Street. Y'all tore it down for a building, a city-owned building that has its back turned to the community. You can't even get into the building from the community. You got to go around the building just to get. And all black people know we doing that is pay our light bill.
Right.
Like, make it make sense.
It don't, bro. I mean, I can literally sit here and say that my elementary school don't exist no more. My middle school don't exist no more. And they was getting ready to get rid of my high school. And part of that is, again, gentrification. If you get rid of the schools, you destroy the neighborhood. Because where your kids going to go? You're going to take your kids where the school's at. So if you remove the schools from the neighborhood, then you displace those people, get them out of the way, and then you can bring in people that's just going to build up and build around it.
Right.
Same thing. You know what I'm saying? Leonard Weston ain't here no more. Bellevue ain't here no more. Try to get rid of Rickards. Like, it's clear as day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just 41. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling older people in all these laws. You know what I'm saying? Got rid of Lincoln, and boom. That was probably the beginning of the end for Frenchtown there, as far back as it went back. But it's just one of those indications of when you get rid of certain structures in that neighborhood, make it easier to move in and move the people out. And the people is meant the community, not necessarily the structures.
Right.
But man, I'm with you. Nicole had a question. We're gonna try to wrap this thing on up though, because it's been past an hour. Nicole said, should the black community advocate for a black agenda with elected officials?
First, I think we got to make sure that we electing black officials. A lot of times with the classism that takes place in this community, a lot of our folks that look like us, their agenda is the polar opposite. So we have to make sure that we got to start judging folks the way God gonna judge us, and we got to start judging people based on their heart. I think that there are people that don't look like us that still have a heart for our community. I think that we have to, you know, and that's the sad part, man. A lot of times it's us. We defeat ourselves, man, because of greed and opportunity. And like I say, classism. I think classism is a much greater threat to the black community in this community than racism ever was. We have Negroes who think that they should be afforded certain opportunities that other Negroes should not. So I think that's a complex question, a great question. Should we have a list of items that black people need? And I guess, but we first have to rid ourselves of this minority umbrella. Everything that comes down the pipeline in this community as it pertains to black people has been categorized, so to speak, under this minority umbrella. And a lot of times when we hear the term minority, we think black people, but no, that can't be further from the truth. Minority means anyone except for a white man.
Right.
You know, so a lot of times what white men do is they put their business in their white wife's name. And it becomes a minority-owned business. So I think that we got to start saying black, we black, I'm black, you black. This is a predominantly black community. District 1 is predominantly black. It encompasses black neighborhoods with black people, black schools, black children. I mean, black businesses should be there. And that's why the infrastructure, until we control the economy of our community, we do not control our community. And we cannot control the economy when every store we walk into in our community, black folks not behind the desk.
Right.
You know what I mean? And black folks black people would love to live in black neighborhoods if there was infrastructure there to support a lifestyle where you can work, live, and play. Like right now, what can you do in Bond besides just live there and go in your house and pray that nothing happens outside before you come back outside the next morning.
Right.
Like we got a lot of issues, man. But yes, I do think that we need to be very intentional as it pertains to black people. But until black people start back acknowledging the fact that we are all black people, you know what I mean? Like until we start looking at classism and level of education, plus you can't equate education to intelligence nowadays.
Right.
Like all of us got smartphones, researchers right in the palm of our hands now. We don't have to go scour through an encyclopedia to find the answer to something. Like, so we need to, man, we need to come to Jesus moment. Like, I think that now is the time.
I say this is one of the first elections where typically, and I ain't gonna say it was the smartest procedure, but typically, you like, all right, they look like me. I'm gonna go ahead and hit that check. But this election, ain't not quite. So if you think, and I'm starting to see, I ain't gonna get too much into it because I don't want to start nothing, but starting to see that just because that face look like you got to look behind who behind that face, and who's supporting that face, and what their agenda is, and you may find out that it might be some Jim Henson going on. It might be some Jim Henson going on. So y'all, be mindful. Do your research. My man Joe said we need real progress, real change.
Yes, sir.
Can't keep doing the same thing because it's not working for us. Right. Amen.
We don't set goals. Don't set goals in our dreams without goals are just dreams. And like it's like we get sold a dream every single election cycle. We get told, like the current commissioner, his goals when he first got elected was to lower crime, bring activity to the South Side, specifically bowling alleys and other leisure things, and relocate the fairgrounds. Well, sir, if those were your top three goals, we have yet to receive one of them. Right. With all due respect.
I remember that fairground thing. I was like, y'all gonna move that for real? You do that? Yeah, man. But we're gonna go ahead and get out your hair, man. Even though I think both of us lost most of it already. We ain't.
I'm going done on that.
The 80s babies, boy. We ain't got up. We kind of lose a little bit. Anyway, before we get out of here, man, again, if you can let people know what they can do to support and contribute to your campaign.
Absolutely, man. So you can visit www.barber4leon.com. You can sign up to volunteer. Our campaign office is at 2426 Spring Hill Road. Early voting starts this weekend, so we need volunteers. We just ordered new shirts, signs, man. We're gonna sprint to the finish line. This race has definitely been a marathon, but as in every marathon, the way it ends is you sprint to the finish line. So man, we not tired yet, man. Like we've been training for this. I think that God has ordained us for this, and then we're gonna make some change, man. So www.barber4leon. There's a drop down on there. You can sign up to volunteer. You can donate. But yeah, man, keep having these sort of conversations, man, and making sure that you're engaging with folks about policies that will push us forward, man. That's what commissioners are supposed to be doing. So man, yeah, let's go. Let's go.
No doubt. Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you. You know he claps. All right. So we'll get up out of here. The podcast should be up in a couple of days. Shouts out to Pat. You've been real patient with me because I'm been off my rocker trying to get used to how things supposed to work now. So y'all just be patient. But the audio podcast should be available in a couple of days. Also next week, again, not gonna tell y'all who the guest's gonna be because I don't want to jinx it. However, we still sticking with local politics, so just be ready for that. Other than that, thanks to Terrance, thanks to Nicole, thanks to Joe, thanks to my baby Felicia, thanks to my man Mo Blackie, and everybody else that was in tune. If you was on Facebook land, I didn't get your comments. I apologize. Blame it on StreamYard. Anyway, we're gonna get out your hair. This is Enigma Sept Hour. You got time, baby.